Welcome to the Carter Fitness and Nutrition Podcast. This is episode 1 based on fat loss. So we're going to be doing this over a series of a couple episodes. So, fat loss obtained by a healthy diet and exercise. So in general, fat loss is about burning more calories than you consume. So basically you are eating less than your maintenance, or you're eating your maintenance and you're doing more activity to basically burn those calories down into that deficit. So what do we basically recommend through a healthy diet and exercise? Well, healthy diet consists of foods which are low calorie dense.
Fat loss can also be obtained by a healthy diet and exercise. The foods that help with fat loss are spinach, broccoli, carrots, kale, low-fat cheese, chicken breast, and popcorn.
Those foods are recommended because you can have a high volume of these foods. So, for example, you have a giant bowl of, let's say, Doritos, and you have a giant bowl of popcorn. Now, what's going to come to it is the bowl of Doritos is obviously going to be smaller than the big bowl of popcorn. So per 100 grams of Doritos, there is roughly about 450 calories, while in 100 grams of popcorn, there is a little under 300 calories. So in general, in the long run, volume means more fulfilling.
You can have a lot of these foods and still lose weight. They are known as calorie-dense foods, which means if you were to have spinach or broccoli or anything in that range, it wouldn't really matter how much of it you would have as long as you don't have too much.
Exactly that. That is basically, as long as you're in that caloric deficit, you're not going over that caloric deficit on a daily basis, you will maintain that fat loss diet no matter what. So what sort of exercise would we recommend?
I'd recommend incline cardio.
Yes, incline cardio is a good hit. Why? Because incline cardio has more of ability of burning more calories compared to having it on flat state cardio. So if you're doing on flat, you can burn up to 100 calories per mile on a 3 mile per hour walk. But if you boost that up into a 10-degree incline at 3 miles per hour, you can increase that to around almost 400 calories.
Also, apple cider vinegar is quite good for fat loss as well.
Apple cider vinegar helps your body to feel more full. So because it's acidic, it allows it to build up in the inside the intestines. So in the stomach. So it's like, for example, you consume a whole bunch of water before you eat. Apple cider vinegar has that similar effect. So if you consume apple cider vinegar, literally before you have a meal, as long as it's measured out correctly and diluted in water, you have the ability to feel more full before you eat, which then allows you to eat less, which is obviously the key to burning body fat.
Junk food also, as long as it results in some sort of calorie deficit at the end of your day, I would say it would be moderately okay, as long as you don't go too overboard. Don't go like, say, over 3,000 calories of junk food. I wouldn't do that. Just be sensible.
Yeah, so there's a lot of these people that say, right, you got to eat a salad. You got to change your meal. So you eat, let's say, eat a nice big bunch of rice. You don't just move it on from rice to spinach. You don't want to make your meals feel plain. What you want to do is have a flexible diet. Now, flexible dieting is something where you can add a variety of foods into a certain diet. As long as you are in that caloric deficit, you are okay. So, in general, if you eat in a deficit but are able to consume that junk food, as in you keep it in that sort of range where you're not overdoing it, you'll be okay.
you always need to be careful if you're on a deficit or cutting or bulking, stuff like that, because you don't want to go too intense with things like that.
Yeah, so there's a big difference. So you got the cutting phase, you got the maintenance phase, and you got the bulking phase. Now the cutting phase results in eating less calories in your maintenance. So you're bringing it down to around 500 calories, which can result in a pound a week you lose. Maintenance is where you maintain your current body weight and allow yourself to stay at that weight range. And bulking is where you increase your calories into a surplus, where you start gaining weight. So what do I certainly recommend? Obviously for fat loss, it's going to be somewhere around the deficit, which is the cutting phase, and the maintenance phase. So can you lose fat on a caloric maintenance? Yes. How much? Not as much as deficit. So on a maintenance, you have the ability to put on muscle and lose fat at the same time, as long as you're consuming enough protein, enough water, and you're allowing yourself to have enough energy in the gym. So energy-wise, carbohydrates. Do not fear your carbs. They do not make you fat unless you overeat them every night and you binge and you look like Mr. Blobby. So, no, carbs are not your enemy. So everybody, get it out your heads now. You need to eat your carbs. If you don't have carbs, your workouts will go downhill. You'll have to consume a massive amount of caffeine to fuel your workouts.
Also, by enjoying your meals, you don't have to stick to all these high calorie dense sources. You can have low calorie or 0 calorie sources like skinny sauces and stuff like that.
Yeah, so what you want to do, you want to enjoy your meals. So instead of having these plain old meals that you don't enjoy on a daily basis, add in something to flavour it. So like Maria just said, you have the skinny sauces. Now we use skinny sauces pretty much with every single meal. Make them taste great. So we use ketchup, we use barbecue, we use a whole variety really. You look on their website, there's a whole bunch of them. There's also do syrups, which is like golden syrup, maple syrup, and it's really good. It tastes absolutely amazing, and that's what you want in a diet. You want it to taste good, because if it's not going to taste good, you're going to look at it like, right, I've got this bland old meal again, and you don't want that. The blander the meal, the less likely you're going to enjoy it, the less likely you're going to stick to this diet long term. The longer you stick with a diet, the more successful you are. And as they say, 99% of diets fail on a daily basis. So what you got to do is you got to make it an enjoyable diet, stick to eating what you love to eat, and you will succeed. That is a promise from us.
Always stay dedicated and motivated and strict, and keep in mind what you want, and have a fair sight at your goals and what you're trying to achieve, and you'll get there eventually.
You will definitely get there. So fat loss isn't all difficult. Fat loss is about obviously burning more calories than you consume. So when it comes to how hard it is and how easy it is, it all depends on you. How hard you make it, how easy you make it. If you can eat a lot of food, eat a lot of food. Make it a dense in low calorie based foods. You need to eat it in vegetables, more veggies. That's what you need. Vegetables are filling, they're full of fibre, they're full of a little bit of carbohydrates, but mostly fibre, mostly water. That's what makes them so filling. So you really just gotta try and be mindful of what you eat. It's always being mindful.
Calories in, calories out.
Calories in, calories out. Always calories in, calories out. The more calories you consume in, less out, the more likely you're going to put on fat. But the less calories you got in, more out, more likely you'll burn fat. And then in the middle is obviously your maintenance. So that is the podcast for today. We will release next episode within the next following few days, which will also be based on fat loss.
If you need help with diet plans, fitness advice, please let us know, and we'll be more than happy to help. For more tips, facts, workout and fitness advice, please follow our fitness page on Instagram at CarterFitness90. Please like and subscribe our YouTube channel, Maria and Stephen Carter, Carter Fitness and Nutrition.
if you would prefer to get in touch via email, our email, carterfitnessandnutrition@gmail.com. We both hope that you enjoyed the podcast.
Thank you.